What's up everyone? Back with another list, and this time we're talking about games that are serious time black holes. These 20 games have that special something that keeps you saying just one more mission, or just one more run, until you've lost an entire weekend. Let's get into it. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is the ultimate celebration of gaming, where you can pit Mario against Cloud, Pikachu against Sephiroth, and literally anyone against anyone else from gaming history. The roster has over 80 characters, and each one plays completely differently, with unique movesets, combos, and playstyles. You've got Classic Mode for solo runs, World of Light as this massive adventure campaign, and the online multiplayer that keeps you coming back for just one more match. The combat system is easy to pick up, but incredibly deep once you start learning spacing, ledge guards, and character-specific tech. Every stage has its own hazards and layouts, items can completely flip a match, and the progression system keeps unlocking new fighters, stages, and music. Whether you're playing casually with friends on the couch or grinding to improve your competitive game, there's always something new to master. The sheer variety means you can play this for hundreds of hours and still discover new matchups and strategies that keep it fresh. Splatoon 3. Forget everything you know about shooters because Splatoon 3 is all about painting the ground instead of just getting kills. You play as an Inkling or Octoling in this colorful world where the main multiplayer mode is Turf War, covering as much ground as possible in your team's ink while stopping the enemy from doing the same. The weapon variety is insane, with everything from standard shooters to paint rollers, chargers that work like sniper rifles, and even brushes for speed painting. There's a full single-player campaign called Return of the Mammalians that teaches you advanced movement and combat techniques while delivering a surprisingly engaging story about the world. Salmon Run is this horde mode where you collect golden eggs while fighting off waves of enemy salmonids, and it's absolutely chaotic in the best way. The customization lets you build your gear for different abilities, affecting movement speed, ink efficiency, and special charge rate. Balatro. This roguelike deck builder takes poker hands and turns them into an addictive strategy game that's impossible to put down. You're building poker hands to score points and beat increasingly difficult blinds, but the genius is in how you manipulate the deck with jokers that completely break the rules. Each joker has unique effects, like multiplying scores for certain suits, adding chips for face cards, or creating wild synergies between different poker hands. You start each run picking a deck with different properties. Then you're buying Joker cards, tarot cards that modify your deck, planet cards that level up specific hands, and spectral cards for powerful one-time effects. The strategy comes from building combos where your Jokers work together, like stacking multipliers on flush hands or creating engines that generate ridiculous scores. Every run feels different because the shop offerings are randomized, forcing you to adapt your strategy on the fly. The difficulty curve is perfect, where early blinds feel manageable, but later boss blinds require seriously optimized builds to overcome. Unlocking new jokers, decks, and challenges keeps the progression satisfying, and the just one more run factor is real, because each game only takes 30 to 60 minutes, but you'll play 10 in a row without realizing it. Celeste. This precision platformer tells the story of Madeline climbing Celeste Mountain while dealing with anxiety and self-doubt. And the gameplay perfectly mirrors that struggle. You've got simple controls with jump, dash, and climb, but the level design uses these mechanics in incredibly creative ways that constantly challenge you. Each chapter introduces new mechanics like moving platforms, dream blocks you can dash through, or feathers that let you fly briefly, keeping the gameplay fresh throughout. The difficulty is tough but fair, where you'll die hundreds of times per chapter, but respawns are instant and checkpoints are generous, so it never feels frustrating. B-sides are remixed, harder versions of each chapter, and C-sides are brutally difficult gauntlet levels for true masochists. The assist mode lets you adjust game speed, give yourself infinite stamina, or even turn on invincibility without judgment, making it accessible to everyone. Strawberries are optional collectibles that require serious platforming skills to grab, and hunting them all adds tons of replay value.
Now
Absolum is a side-scrolling beat-em-up that blends classic arcade combat with rogue-lite progression, creating a loop that stays engaging run after run. You choose from multiple heroes with distinct playstyles, each using light and heavy attacks, dodges, counters, and special arcana abilities that reward skillful combos and timing. Levels feature branching paths, randomized events, and passive upgrades called rituals, so every run feels slightly different while still pushing steady progression through permanent unlocks at the hub. The story takes place in the fantasy world of Talum, where a tyrannical ruler suppresses magic, and a group of rebels rises to restore balance and uncover the truth behind the mysterious force known as Absolum. With its hand-drawn art, challenging bosses, co-op support, and modern roguelite structure layered over classic brawler gameplay, it offers strong replay value and a satisfying sense of growth without relying on repetition.
Or the long-range, magic-wielding Brome. The Root Sisters will reward your exploits on
Dead Cells. This roguelike action platformer puts you in control of a sentient blob of cells, possessing a headless corpse, fighting through a constantly changing castle. Combat is fast and responsive, with dodging, parrying, and a huge arsenal of weapons, from quick daggers to slow, heavy hammers, each with different movesets and special abilities. You're collecting cells from enemies to unlock permanent upgrades and new gear blueprints, but you lose everything if you die before spending them at checkpoints. The procedural generation means every run has different layouts and enemy placements, forcing you to stay sharp and adapt constantly. Mutations give you build-defining bonuses, like healing on kills or damage boosts for specific weapon types, and you're constantly experimenting with different combinations. The biomes all have unique enemies and environmental hazards, with branching paths that let you choose easier or harder routes for different rewards. Boss fights are intense pattern-learning battles that feel fair but demanding. Stardew Valley. You inherit your grandfather's old farm in Stardew Valley and trade your corporate job for a life of farming, fishing, mining, and building relationships with the townspeople. The core loop is planting crops, watering them daily, harvesting for profit, then expanding your farm with better tools and more efficient layouts. Mining in the caves gives you ore for tool upgrades and gems to sell, with combat against slimes and other creatures as you go deeper. Fishing is its own minigame that's weirdly addictive, with different fish in different seasons and locations. Every villager has their own schedule, preferences, and storylines that unlock as you befriend them, with 8 eligible bachelors and bachelorettes to romance and marry. Seasonal events and festivals give structure to the year, and there's a community center restoration quest that serves as a long-term goal. The freedom is what makes it addictive, because you can focus on whatever you want, whether that's optimizing your farm for maximum profit, completing the museum collection, or just decorating your house. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. This is a life sim RPG where you choose from multiple lives, like being a paladin, wizard, carpenter, or cook, and you can switch between them freely. The combat lives let you fight monsters across diverse regions, from forests to deserts to floating islands, with real-time action combat that's simple but satisfying. Crafting lives, like blacksmith, carpenter, and tailor, let you create equipment and items, with complex crafting chains where you need materials from multiple sources. Gathering lives, like miner, woodcutter, and angler, are about collecting resources from the world, and each life has its own progression system, with ranks to climb and skills to master. The story follows a girl named Anne Lucia, who can manipulate time, and you're pulled into an adventure involving the mysterious life tree. What makes it absorb hours is how everything interconnects. You mine ore, smelt it as a blacksmith, craft armor, then use that armor to fight tougher monsters for better materials. Dave the Diver. You're splitting time between diving in a mysterious blue hole during the day to catch fish, then serving them at a sushi restaurant at night. The diving is exploration-focused, where you're managing oxygen, discovering new areas, encountering sea creatures from realistic fish to prehistoric monsters, and completing underwater missions. Combat exists, but it's not the focus. You've got harpoons and nets for catching fish, with bigger creatures requiring strategy to take down. The sushi restaurant management has you hiring staff, managing the menu based on what you caught, and serving customers during dinner rush in this frantic but fun minigame. The story involves investigating the blue hole's mysteries, ancient civilizations, and some genuinely wild plot developments that keep you hooked. Upgrading your diving gear opens up deeper areas and new abilities like drone support or better weapons. There are side businesses like a fish farm and ingredient sourcing that add more management layers. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is pure beat-em-up perfection that captures everything great about classic TMNT arcade games while adding modern polish. You're picking one of the 4 turtles, plus April, Splinter, and Casey Jones, each with unique movesets and special abilities. The combat is simple to learn, with basic attacks, jump kicks, and special moves, but combos and team-up attacks add depth as you get better. Story mode takes you through classic TMNT locations, fighting Foot Clan soldiers, Bebop, Rocksteady, and eventually Shredder himself, with gorgeous pixel art that's bursting with personality. Arcade mode is the pure challenge run with limited lives, while story mode has progression where you level up characters and unlock new moves. 6-player online co-op is absolute chaos in the best way, with everyone on screen destroying enemies together. The level design keeps throwing new enemies and situations at you, and boss fights are pattern-based throwdowns that feel epic. Pikmin 4. You're exploring an alien planet as a tiny astronaut, leading an army of adorable plant creatures called Pikmin to solve puzzles and fight monsters. Each Pikmin type has different abilities, like red ones resist fire, blue ones can survive in water, and yellow ones conduct electricity and can be thrown higher. You're managing your squad in real time, multitasking between sending groups to collect treasure, build bridges, break down walls, and battle creatures that want to eat your little helpers. The day-night cycle creates natural tension because you need to gather all your Pikmin before sunset, or the ones left behind get eaten. Ochi is your space dog companion who can carry Pikmin, break through obstacles, and even let you ride him for faster movement. The campaign has you rescuing stranded crew members scattered across diverse environments, from gardens to frozen tundras, with each area hiding secrets and optional challenges. Dandori battles are these strategic showdowns against opponents where you're racing to collect the most treasure before time runs out. Animal Crossing: New Horizons. You move to a deserted island as part of a getaway package and build it into a thriving community from scratch. The gameplay runs in real time, matching your actual clock and calendar, so different fish, bugs, and events appear based on the time of day and season. You're gathering resources like wood, stone, and iron to craft tools and furniture, catching creatures to donate to the museum or sell for bells, and decorating your island however you want. Tom Nook gives you tasks early on, but eventually, you have complete freedom to terraform the land, place rivers and cliffs, and design your island layout down to individual tiles. Villagers move in with unique personalities, and you're building friendships through daily conversations and gift-giving, with hundreds of possible animal residents to meet. Seasonal events like Cherry Blossom Season, Halloween, and Toy Day add limited-time items and activities throughout the year. The customization is endless, with thousands of furniture items, clothing options, and custom designs you can create or download from other players. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, released on Nintendo Switch on February 5th, 2026, is a modern remake of the classic JRPG that focuses on exploration, long-form storytelling, and strategic turn-based combat. The gameplay centers on discovering ancient stone fragments in ruins to unlock past eras, where each restored island features its own self-contained story, towns, and dungeons that gradually reshape the present world. Battles retain the traditional turn-based system, but feel smoother thanks to faster pacing, visible enemies, and flexible party customization through the expanded vocation system, which lets characters learn skills across multiple classes for deeper builds. The story follows a young hero and companions from the quiet island of Astard, who uncover that entire continents vanished long ago due to a mysterious evil, leading to a time-spanning journey to restore history piece by piece. With improved pacing, updated visuals, and a strong sense of progression tied to exploration, it delivers a massive, immersive adventure that stays engaging over dozens of hours. Skyrim. You're the Dragonborn in the frozen province of Skyrim, discovering you can absorb dragon souls and use powerful shouts in a world facing a dragon apocalypse. The main quest has you learning about your destiny and stopping Alduin, the World Eater. But honestly, that's just a fraction of what you'll actually do. You can join the Companions as a warrior, the College of Winterhold as a mage, the Thieves Guild for stealth gameplay, or the Dark Brotherhood as an assassin, each with full quest lines. The civil war between the Imperial Legion and Stormcloaks lets you shape Skyrim's political future. Combat lets you dual-wield any combination of weapons and spells, use bows for stealth archery, or go full tank with heavy armor and shields. Every dungeon is handcrafted with environmental storytelling, and you're constantly finding lore books, unique weapons, and side quests just from exploring. The leveling system is based on what you actually use, so sneaking makes you better at stealth, and casting spells levels your magic schools.
By General Tullius, just stay clear of other Imperial soldiers and avoid any complications, alright?
Cult of the Lamb. You're a possessed lamb, saved from sacrifice by a chained god. And now, you're building a cult in his name while crusading through dungeons to free him. The game splits between managing your cult settlement and roguelike dungeon crawling. In your cult base, you're building structures, gathering resources, recruiting followers through rescue or indoctrination, and keeping everyone loyal through sermons and rituals. Your followers need food, shelter, and faith management, and you can perform rituals like sacrifice, marriage, or festivals to boost devotion. Doctrines let you choose your cult's rules about food, work, afterlife beliefs, and punishments for dissenters. The dungeon crawling is fast-paced action where you're using melee weapons and curses to fight through procedurally generated areas in 4 regions, each with unique enemies and bosses. Tarot cards found during runs give you temporary buffs like increased damage or healing, and you're unlocking new weapons and curses that dramatically change your playstyle. Vampire Survivors. This minimalist roguelike has you surviving increasingly insane waves of monsters for 30 minutes using auto-attacking weapons that you evolve into devastating combinations. You pick a character with a starting weapon and stat bonuses. Then monsters start flooding the screen from all directions. Your character auto-attacks, and you're just controlling movement, dodging enemies, while your weapons fire automatically. Every minute, you level up and choose between new weapons, passive items that boost your stats, or upgrades to existing weapons. The genius is in the weapon evolution system, where combining specific weapons with specific items transforms them into much more powerful versions. Managing your build is crucial because you're limited in how many weapons and items you can hold, forcing tough decisions about what synergizes best. Different stages have unique layouts and enemy types, with stage-specific challenges and secrets to discover. Unlocking new characters requires completing specific objectives, and each one changes your strategy with different starting loadouts. Fire Emblem, 3 houses. You're a mercenary turned professor at a military academy, choosing between 3 houses to teach, and your choice completely changes the story across multiple playthroughs. The monastery serves as your hub, where you're exploring, talking to students and faculty, participating in activities, and strengthening bonds during calendar-based months. Teaching involves instructing students in different weapon types and skills, and you can recruit students from other houses if you meet their stat requirements. Combat is tactical turn-based strategy on grid maps, where positioning, weapon advantages, and character classes determine success. The weapon triangle makes swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords, while magic and bows add ranged options. Each character has a personal skill and can be trained into different class paths, from basic soldiers to advanced flying units or magic knights. Support conversations between characters unlock as they fight together, revealing backstories and relationships that affect the narrative.
Next time, bring your friends.
Here goes.
Hades. You're Zagreus, son of Hades, fighting your way out of the underworld in this roguelike where dying is part of the story instead of a failure state. Each run takes you through 4 regions, the Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, and the Temple of Styx, facing randomized enemy encounters and choosing rewards after each room. You pick one of 6 weapons that fundamentally change your playstyle, from the fast twin fists to the ranged bow, and each weapon has hidden aspects that modify them further. Boons from Olympian gods give you powerful abilities, like Zeus's lightning chain attacks or Athena's deflecting dash, and combining boons from different gods creates duo boons with broken synergies. Dying sends you back to the House of Hades, where you use resources to permanently upgrade your stats, unlock new weapon aspects, and advance relationships with dozens of characters through fully voiced dialogue. The writing is exceptional, with every character having distinct personalities and story arcs that develop as you progress. Slay the Spire. This roguelike deck builder has you climbing a spire across 3 acts, building a deck of cards to defeat increasingly difficult enemies and bosses. You choose between 4 characters with completely different mechanics, like the Ironclad, who focuses on strength and blocking, or the Silent, who uses poison and card draw. Every battle, you're playing cards that cost energy to attack, defend, or apply buffs and debuffs. And combat is about managing your hand and energy efficiently. After fights, you choose between multiple card rewards, and building a focused deck means knowing what to add, and, crucially, what not to add to avoid dilution. Events offer choices between gaining cards, removing cards, upgrading cards, or acquiring relics with powerful passive effects. Relics are key to broken builds, giving you advantages like extra energy, card draw, or synergies with specific strategies. Elite enemies are tougher fights that give better rewards, and you're balancing the risk of fighting them against your current deck strength. Hades 2. You're Melinoe, daughter of Hades and sister to Zagreus, fighting your way out of the underworld in early access with massively expanded mechanics from the first game. The core loop is similar, with roguelike runs through procedurally generated rooms, but now you're wielding new weapons like the Sister Blades and Moonstone Axe with completely different movesets. Boons return from Olympian gods, but with new interactions, and you're meeting fresh gods like Apollo and Hephaestus with unique ability sets. The major addition is resource gathering and crafting, where you're collecting materials during runs to unlock permanent upgrades, new gameplay mechanics, and story progression back at the Crossroads hub. Arcana cards provide meta progression, allowing you to customize your permanent stat bonuses and unlock new strategic options. The surface world adds an entirely new area to explore, with different enemy types and environmental challenges separate from the underworld path. Incantations are major rituals requiring rare resources that unlock fundamental features like new weapon aspects or access to additional boons. So there's 20 games guaranteed to make you lose entire days without even noticing. Whether you're building the perfect deck, managing a cult, or just vibing on your island, these games have that special, addictive quality that keeps you coming back. What game has stolen the most time from you? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more gaming content. See you in the next one!